Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Focus with Tim Thomas. We're glad you've joined us for this very special edition of our program. We want you to call someone and let them know that Focus is on the air. And we want to take time to thank our sponsors, the City of Madisonville and First United Bank, for their support of this program. We have a very special program this evening. We're going to be talking about the JW Million Reunion that is coming up in the city of Arlington, Kentucky. So we're calling all millionaires to come back home and be a part of this grand celebration, July the 5th through the 7th. And joining us to talk about the upcoming event, first of all, is Ms. Nadine McNeil, who is the chairperson of the committee that is putting all of this together. Welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Tim.
And joining us also is none other than Ms. Wanda Wilson, who is a committee person on the committee and has served as past chair of the JW Million Reunion, and she is currently a councilwoman in the city of Arlington.
Correct.
Yes, and so we're glad that you're here to talk about what I think is an exciting time in the life of just not Arlington, but in the life of our whole county, because JW Million has put through schools so many people of influence, not only in this community but across the United States as well. Nadine, tell us a little bit about the reunion and how it's coming together.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that the reunion started, let's see, this will be our 12th reunion, in the kitchen of Mrs. Noah McCain, and Mary Gill got together and they wanted to know, what it would be like to have a school reunion. Okay, they started it, but Lord Hughes called me one day and asked if we couldn't get together and do something of the same sort. So we found out that they were getting theirs together, so we called them and asked them if it would be okay if we would join them, and of course they said yes. And we've been together, all that time, and this is our 12th reunion coming up. And when it started, we had several members, at that particular time living, but they passed on, and so Lord Hughes, myself, Faye Gill, and Gloria Cook, we're the 4 originals for the school reunion.
Wow.
And so this, like I said, will be our 12th reunion this year.
Wow, it's exciting that you're able to stay together that long and be able to bring people together for a time of fellowship, and just a great time of fellowship and being able to share with one another.
Right, we say when we're trying to renew old acquaintances and make new friends.
Right. The hospitality hour is on Friday, July the 5th.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're going to meet at the Mount Zion Baptist Church Gymnasium, and it will begin at 6 o'clock. That will be our meet and greet. And this year we have a wonderful program planned. Dwight Carney and the Brown Sisters of Evansville, they're going to be there to do our music.
Wonderful.
And then we have several ones that's over the hospitality hour, which Wanda is the chairperson, so let her talk to you about that.
Wanda, tell us a little bit about the hospitality hour.
Well, it starts at 6 p.m. At Mount Zion Gymnasium. That's where all the activities will be. There'll be food again, of course, and drinks, of course. Yes, sodas, iced tea, lemonade, and water.
Cold water.
Cold water. Okay. Ice cold Arlington, Kentucky water. But that will be a time to sort of get reacquainted with everybody, meet children and grandchildren of the ones we went to school with, and have some entertainment. We usually, well, in the past we've had soloists, and we've had dancers, especially like praise and dance teams from the different churches. We've had style shows, hat shows. We've had a variety of things, and we're going to plan to have that again this year. So you will be entertained, you will be fed, and you can enjoy the company of everybody in the environment. So I think things are going to go really well.
But isn't it exciting to be able to mix and mingle like that and see those you hadn't seen for a couple
Some
of years?
I see that I went to school with, I have to look at twice because I remember the face, but I cannot. I said, now I should know that person. And it takes a while, you know, and as you get older, you'll find out what I'm talking about. But it really is wonderful to get to see everybody again, all those who are able to come. Again, as I say, it's a pleasure to meet their children, and some of their grandchildren come with them. So that is really something to look forward to. Because I never thought I'd live long enough to see that, but I have been blessed.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Are there any, Ms. McNeil, is there any teachers still living now from J.W. Million?
Let's see. There's a few. We have one teacher that lives in Evansville, Miss Dawson. What was her first name? Miss Helen Dawson. And there's another lady that lives in Chicago. She was one of the younger teachers that I didn't know. But other than that, that's about all.
When you talk about J.W. Million himself, tell us a little bit about J.W. Million. Ms. Wanda?
Oh, you want me to talk about? Well, I've got a lot to say about J.W. Million. That was the only.
He was a minister, wasn't he, pastor?
The pastor is of Mount Zion.
Mount Zion,
was who that auditorium. Well, that's how J.W. Million came about, because that was the pastor's name, Reverend J.W. Million. So during the days of WPA, when the gymnasium was erected, they named it after him. I think he must have had a lot of involvement with the building of that auditorium. So they named it in honor of him.
Yes.
J.W. Million's been around for a long time. I have a relative who was the first African American high school graduating class. She was a member of that class, and she's still living. She's not able to travel, but she'll be 105 this year. But she was the first graduating class, and it wasn't named J.W. Million then. It was the Arlington Colored High School.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. And she was the first graduating, a member of the first graduating class, and that's an honor for me. I tell her about it all the time.
And when you talk about the history, it's always good to be able to look back at your history and relive that and keep that in your heart and in your mind.
Right.
Now, Nadine, we know that the parade is coming up. Also, you're going to be having a parade?
We'll have a parade, and it will convene at the old Arlington. Will it be the Arlington Elementary School, and we'll start lining up about 9:30. Melvin Nicholson and James Scotty Gillum will be our parade, coordinators for that. And we'll go to, we want everyone to know that we have plenty poster board, we have plenty streamers. All we ask that you do is bring your cars and, and decorate them. And then we'll go down to the Million site, old Million site, where Mrs. Vera Johnson J. she will place the wreath. And before that, we'll have our speaker, Dorothy Johnson Market from California. She's going to be our, speaker for the old memorial site.
Wow.
And then we'll convene down to the after we release the balloons, we'll convene down to the Arlington City Park for our picnic.
Great. And tell us a little bit about the picnic. Would it be anything other than just fellowshipping at the picnic?
Well, right about now, we've had some non-profit organizations that want to come and set up, you know, their booths to sell like hot dogs, pulled pork, mutton, ribs, whatever.
So you're
that
inviting
you have. We invited
nonprofit?
anyone, nonprofit, that they want to come. They're welcome to come and set up their own booth and whatever their prices are, you know, I mean, it's okay with us.
Sure, sure. That's great. And that kind of brings in people from the community as well.
Right.
To
The
participate.
churches and
Yes.
civic clubs and all.
At 6 p.m., you're going to be having a banquet and awards gala.
Yes.
Tell us
That
a
will
little
be
bit about that.
at the Mount Zion Baptist Church. And it will be at 6 o'clock. And we have a wonderful speaker, Babby Jackson.
Yes.
Will be our speaker. And we're going to recognize another one of our school members, Miss Esteline Chastain, that just
Yes.
turned 100. And she, and like Wanda said, Mrs. Martha White, they are our two oldest, you know, members. And your father kind of reaches that too, a
94.
little bit. He's in the
Yeah.
90s. And we have one gentleman, Mr. James Eve, he'll be 100, I think, in December. And also, but Babby's going to be our speaker for the, for the occasion. And Mrs. Reverend Miriam Russell, she's the wife of Reverend Demetrius Russell at Pleasant Grove Baptist Church. She's going to do our music.
Wonderful. Let me tell our listening audience, if you haven't heard Mrs. Babby Jackson speak, you're in for a treat.
Right.
She is a dynamic speaker. Mrs. Russell is a dynamic gospel soloist singer as well. So that's beautiful entertainment and a great speaker for the banquet.
All right. And Babby is the daughter of one of our members, Yvonne White. She's the daughter of that, and she's one of the most humblest person that you can meet. And Miss Russell also is. And also, and then after that, we'll have our, awards and.
What kind of awards are you presenting this year?
We're going to, like I said, we're going to recognize Miss Esther Lane, and we hope that the mayor's going to be there, to present her with hers. And we're also going to crown another Miss Million and another Miss Sweetheart, as we did before. So Miss Nettie Bell Gray will have to give up her crown, or Miss Million, and
If
Clara.
you get it from her.
And Clara Jackson will have to give up her crown as Miss Sweetheart.
That's great. That's great. So you're expecting how many so far?
Well, right about now, our letters are coming in slow, but they're coming. And also, the last one we had about 85. So we have to consider that a lot of our school members, they passed on.
Yes.
And so we've got, some of their siblings, their children, and all, but as far as we can see, several of our members have passed on or they're unable to attend.
And you have a reunion fellowship that will culminate the weekend on Sunday?
Wanda?
Yes, we have church services Sunday afternoon starting at 3 p.m. The services will be held at Golf Tabernacle in Arlington. It's referred to as the Church by the Lake.
Yes.
Yes. So that's where we will be on Sunday evening. Our speaker for that event will be Reverend Dr. Beverly Wilkes Null, and she's from Highland, Illinois. She is the Is she the pastor?
Pastor.
She is the pastor of the Highland United Methodist Church.
Wonderful.
So, and the Wilkes is a large family.
Yes.
And
yes.
all the
Mainstays
Wilkes,
there in Arlington.
yes, and all the Wilkes attended all the older ones attended JW and graduated, moved away, but always comes back home to help whenever they are asked to help to do something. So we are looking really excited about her coming and doing that afternoon, delivering the afternoon message. And the JW and choir is going to be singing.
All right.
Yes. Our pianist is David Thomas.
Yes.
And we're going to have a good time.
Wow.
It's going to be a good service. And looking forward to her message and the singing. And again, of course, that culminates the affair, the event. So all the goodbyes are said, and hope to see you again soon. Telephone numbers exchanged, and so it's going to really be good.
Well, you know, all this comes together, but it also takes money to support it. And we want to encourage you who are listening. You don't have to be a member, have graduated from JW Million High School to attend. That's why we wanted to focus in on this. And there is a fee of some kind. Kind of tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we feel like that, again, we're able to offer the activities, you know, like for $35, which $35 is not a lot of money.
That's right.
But it, you know, it lets you be in on everything.
Yes.
And so $35 is, you know, and we have some older members, and we have some people that are unable, that we will see to it if they want to come. We'll see to it that they get a ticket to come.
If someone listening want to just come and attend or whatever, who do they contact, and how do they pay?
Okay, they can contact our secretary, which is Brenda Martin, and her telephone number is 270-825-3587. Or they can call me, and I would prefer that they call me early in the morning or late at night, because I'm never at home. My telephone number is 270-825-9113. And then, of course, Miss Wanda.
And my phone number is 270-383-5471.
Great. And we're going to put all those numbers on the screen and run those across so people can see those, and we'll be able to write those down and call one of those numbers, and let's be a part of this. This is going to be a great event, and you do this every 2 years, I think? Every 3 years.
Every 3 years.
Wow. Wow. So that time went by fast, didn't it? Wow.
It really did.
Yes.
It really did. And we've lost several, you know, members of our, you know, our classmates since then. So we just pray and ask for traveling grace.
Yes.
For the ones that are coming in and those that are coming out.
Yes. Yes. What is your? I'll start with you, Ms. McNeil. Tell us, what is your favorite memory of JW Million?
Talking. Miss Mary Gill was our typing teacher and all, and it was 3 of us, Esteline Manor, Mary Smith, and myself. And she would always say, Nicholson, if anything ever happens to your tongue, you're going to be an evil person. And but I don't know, I just hated to miss school. I just thought that every day I should be there, I'm going to forget something. Somebody's going to leave me out of something. But all of us just loved each other. We just had a good time, you know, together. Although we had to walk from Heckley and be in the freezing rain, the snow, they did not call school off. And by the time you got to school, you were so cold and everything, but after you warmed up, it was, you know. But I hated to miss school, and like I said, talking was my favorite subject. But I graduated the year of 1956, and it was 9 of us, and there's only 4 of us left.
Wow.
And that's Leroy Johnson, Marvin Clark, Mer Peppers, and myself. We're the only 4 that's left in our class.
Wow. Miss Wanda?
Yes, I graduated.
Just tell us one. Don't tell us all the stories.
All right.
Okay.
I'll try not to. I graduated in 1953. I was valedictorian of my class. And I graduated a class of 12. Right now, there's maybe 3 of us still living. But Johnny Bell Bernal, I cannot contact her. She's in Detroit, Michigan, if she's still with us. But my other classmate that's alive was Bill Yates, William Yates. He's in Indianapolis, Indiana, and his health is not too good right now. And myself, that's the only 3 that's left. And my favorite memory, I wouldn't say favorite, but my lasting memory.
Yes.
My cousin taught English, James Hayden.
Yes.
That's your dad's friend.
Yes, sure is.
And my cousin, I was chewing gum. He asked me to get rid of the gum, throw it away. Well, I, like everybody else, got up, went to the wastebasket, pretended to get rid of it, and throw it in the wastebasket, but kept it in my mouth. Well, I was reading something and forgot and started chewing it again. I immediately got 5 licks with the paddle. That cured me to this day. I do not chew chewing gum. It hurt my feelings. Number 1, he was a relative. Number 2, I got caught. And I told him I was going to tell his mama. I said, I'm going to tell your mama that you spanked me. She'll take care of you. That stayed with me till now. I don't chew chewing gum.
Wow.
I can tell you that when speaking of relatives, well, Mrs. Carrier Mims, she was my aunt.
Yes.
And I never shall forget, I was in the 4th grade. And for some reason, I had a problem to decide what was colony and what was colonial. And I got a many spankings, but when you get to colony, I called it colonial. That was 2 things that I could not distinguish between, but after a couple of licks, I finally
got it.
I finally got it together. But colonial and colony, I can see those words right today, and that's the first thing I think about the paddlings I got, but not being able to distinguish colony. And I was in the 4th grade. I thought she should have had a little mercy.
Well, as of today, you could not do that.
No.
No, that's not permissible whatsoever. But when I look at it, it may not be, and it's a good thing that it's not allowed today. But I didn't turn out so bad.
Me neither. I know what you mean.
And those little paddlings didn't hurt the skin as much as it hurt my feelings, because it was done in the classroom. And all of your classmates observed your punishment. And you had to drop your head and go back and sit in your seat and say, well, I got spanked today. That's not a good thought to take home. Right.
I would like to say that when it came down to Professor Mims, he was really, really concerned about all the children, and to tell you the truth, he was more than a coach. Professor Mims was a teacher, and we had him under geometry. I think he had the fear of God in all of us, and all, but he would walk through the school with these keys, and you could always tell when he was coming if you were in something that you weren't supposed to do. But he was a great coach, but I tell you, on top of that, he taught a lot of children, and a lot of children went on to do great things. Wow.
Yeah, we definitely didn't want to close without talking about Professor Mims. Just really, when you talk about J.W. Millian High School, that's what he was noted for.
Yeah, he was at our first reunion, and then he passed, before we had our second one, but he gave us some words of wisdom to live by, and all that. Education was very important. Teach your children, and just to see to it
yeah.
that they got a education.
And a great basketball coach. My dad was on the basketball team and talks so many stories about
that
Coach
right?
Williams
Yes.
and him coaching.
And don't forget Mrs. Pernisa Bonner. She was the foundation building. That was the first grade teacher. And she was the only little 4-foot woman that could pop her fingers and 36 kids line up in a row. She never said a word, but you knew what she wanted you to do. She was a
Another thing she
marvelous
could do too was she could you be on the playground and be doing something wrong, and she would let that window up and knock on that window and point her finger. You knew right then and there, you know, that she was on you about something. But it was Miss Bonner, but when we first started school, we called her Miss Murphy.
Wow. Hey, this is good. I really enjoyed talking to you all and talking
We're so
about
glad
this.
to be here.
Yeah, and
Yes.
so much history and so many memories, and that's what this reunion is all about. So we're not only calling all millionaires to come back and be a part of the JW Million reunion, but we're asking our community as a whole to come out and support what this committee is doing to bring back the memories of JW Million High School.
Right.
The dates again, July the 5th through the 7th. It's going to be at various locations.
Right.
You want to tell us right quickly again where they will be?
The meet and greet, hospitality hour, Mount Zion Baptist Church, 6 o'clock.
On the 5th.
On the 5th. On the 6th, the parade starts at 9:30. We are getting together and lining up at the Arlington Elementary School. We will go from there to the old playground of JW Million and the Arlington Elementary Colored School, as they call it. We'll be on that playground area for the memorial and dedication services. We'll leave there and go to the Arlington City Park. And we'll be there until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and enjoying barbecue and fellowship again, and all the booths that want to come out are welcome. And from there at 6 o'clock, we'll be at the banquet, and we'll again be at Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church in Arlington, and the banquet will start at 6. On the last day, Sunday, after you leave your regular church services, join us at Golf Tabernacle, the church by the lake, Arlington, Kentucky. We'll be there at 3 p.m. And the Reverend Wilkes will be speaking. We're looking forward to that. Come out and join us and help us celebrate. It's right after the 4th, so we're extending the 4th holiday.
That's right.
And we expect to see you there.
All right. Well, so we encourage you to do that, be a part of that, and I'm going to close out reminded of this one story that Rufus Cox told at one of the banquets. I think they went on a basketball trip, and James Hayden and Big Bill Weatherspoon stayed in the same room together. And they said at the middle of the night, James Hayden was snoring so bad, Bill couldn't sleep. So Big Bill got up and kissed Hayden on the side of the jaw in the middle of the night, and James Hayden sat up and watched Bill sleep the rest of the night.
That sounds like Rufus Cox.
Yeah. We hope you'll tune in to another edition of our program, and we encourage you to keep sharing the dream.